Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy One Gun here, and today I'm doing a special My Troll Joe Season 3. We're up to episode 13 in our keeping tabs of the Troll King himself. Joe steals software and tries to sell it in the Unreal Marketplace. Ha 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 ha. The Brekelman Unreal Theft. Y'all won't believe this one. So Joe, it's what it is, everybody. And the thing about it is, yesterday I was challenged, right? Yesterday I sent this message to Joe, and I'm gonna let Joe read the message to you to let you know what I sent to him.
Peek's theft of their content exclusive. Go ahead and sell them, Joe. Lots of laughs. So you true to sell Brekelman's Pro Face to Unreal? And when they asked you how the thing worked, you ran? No, that's not what happened.
Yes, people, that's exactly what happened. Joe tried to sell something to Unreal behind Jasper Brekelman's back. And the thing about it is, Joe, 4 years prior, and this all happened in 2015, Joe tried to go to Unreal with Brekelman's Pro Face. Now, if anybody want to know what Brekelman is basically made... ProFace is a program made by Jasper Brekelman to use your Kinect to capture facial animations. So here's a quick here's like a quick demo of him actually using the Brekelman's motion capture. I think it's facial animation on this little chimp here. Let's see. Let's see if I can find him actually using it. He's doing all this. Okay, here we go. I think he's rigging it or something. I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, so he's using this Pro Face body tool to record his face in real time while the monkey over here talks, and he's using the Kinect, right? It works sort of kind of like iPod would or Faceware would, but the thing about what Brekelman does here is that his stuff is relatively a lot more cheaper and a lot more compatible with Motion Builder. So Joe contacted Brekelman. Now this is the second version of the Brekelman's tool for the Xbox Kinect. Joe went to Brekelman when Brekelman just had the first version that's out with just only the regular Kinect, and struck up some deal where Joe would be a reseller, right? So this was 4 years prior to when Joe went to Unreal to try to sell this man shit. So what happened is 4 years prior to Joe going to Unreal, Joe was no longer a reseller, and Jasper Brekelman told me this himself, that yeah, Joe, before Joe, Joe was not a seller at the time he made this bid to get into the Unreal store. And I asked Mr. Brekelman, I said, Mr. Brekelman, did you know that Joe tried to go over to Unreal to sell your Pro Face and body? And Jasper Brekelman himself said, no, he didn't. And how do I know this? Well, I'll show you how I know this. Where is Jasper Brekelman? He's in. Let's see. Where is I? I was just talking to the guy a few minutes ago. Here it is. Hold on. I think I gotta open up another window to make this come up. Okay, so here we go. So here it is, right here. And right here, I actually said to him, here it is. I asked him, hi, I was wondering if you knew that Joe Mcpeek from TrueBones was trying to sell your Pro Face product under TrueBones in the Unreal Marketplace. And here's the link to the video that Joe actually showed the correspondence between him and the Unreal people selling this stuff after the fact that Joe's no longer a reseller. And I'm going to get into more specifics of this. So he reads the submission off, and I tell him that he reads the submission off, but throughout his whole submission, he never mentions your name, nor he was the developer. But yet he submitted it to the Unreal as he was the sole owner and creator of the product. Did you know this? And this is where Joe just said himself that he's a reseller, and he was talking about he's a reseller now, but 4 years prior, in 2015, Joe no longer had the rights to resell or even solicit Brekelman stuff on Unreal. And this is back 2015, before they banned Joe. And this whole thing explains why Joe has been permanently banned from Unreal because of him doing shit like this. So Brekelman comes back and says, "Interesting. I did not know this. Thanks for mentioning it. He doesn't have any license to sell, though. If anyone buys it from them, they end up with a non-working product. I'll see if I can find it in the Unreal store and notify them it is not his app and he is not a reseller." And then he goes, he said he was in the past, but no longer. "Thanks again and happy holidays to you." And then he says, "I haven't watched the YouTube clip yet, but at least it appears none of my apps appear in the Unreal store yet. We'll keep an eye out. Thanks." And I said, "Great." But the clip shows he was trying to sell it through Unreal as a TrueBones product. That works well with your Pro Body product. Now, this is the image I sent him. As you can see, this is TrueBones. There's his address. But let's go over here and actually find. Now, this is Joe's video. All right, this is Joe's video off his 3D Hypocrites called WTF This Means For, and it says right here. No, this is something different. This is when he got banned. Let's go a little bit further up, and let's I got another video where I could talk about this in depth, but let me show you what Joe tried to do. Now, this is 4 years after Joe was no longer a reseller of the Brekelman. This is back in 2015. And here's Joe. Here's Joe. His Epic account. Now, this is off his video, so Joe can't be like, "Oh no, he's showing my stuff. He's showing my information." Well, this is a video on Joe's channel. And we're not going to show the video. We're just going to just show an image from his video, which is totally legal. All right, under fair use. And so here's Joe, 2015, 4 years after the fact. He is no longer supposed to be selling this. He sends them this submission form, and it says Joe Mcpeek, peak levels, 69 Oxbow Lake Road, 248. That's his phone number. Proface version. Now this is Joe's shit. Proface version 2 for Connect 2. So Joe has a copy of the Proface version 2 for Connect. So Joe most likely went out and bought a copy with a serial number, and Joe was planning on taking these serial numbers and repurposing them. But Jasper Brekelman makes his own copyright protection shit, which makes it impossible. So it's probably one of the other reasons why Joe wasn't able to steal his shit like he did with iPod and Akinema. But it's basically Joe describes his product: experience the power of multi-person face tracking, 1 to 6 people on track head position, rotation, track 20 different face shapes, blah blah blah. Works in real time, no offline processing required, no calibration required, just blah blah. So Joe's selling this this URL. This URL is to Joe's it's to Joe's probably his TrueBone site, and this is probably to Joe's TrueBone site too. Now I know Joe's TrueBone site, his old one, he had like the Brekel stuff set up on there so people can come to him and try to buy it through him. So what happened? Why come this didn't go through? Well, we'll get to why it didn't go through right about here when he gets the email from Stephanie Loins. It says, "Thank you for submitting. We will review your submission and get back to you within one." Oh my gosh! Somebody always got this fucking talk to me. Who? Hold up. it says, somebody says, who is Joe, the True Bones guy? True Bones subscribed to me after I watched your video about him selling Pixar stuff and Disney stuff. Yeah, well, think about this. Anytime someone talks to me about Joe chases after them and tries to harass the hell out of them. So if he tries to contact you, my thing is to just ignore him. But Joe doesn't like me when I talk about the truth about his questionable business practice, which is basically theft and piracy. So Timothy, just ignore him. If he subscribes to you, that's fine. But just remember, if he tries to contact you, or you know it's Joe when he talks about me and when he says something most likely erroneous about me. So just remember this, Timothy. Just block him. If he subscribed to you, find what name he just subscribed to you under and just block him. And just keep away from him, because he's probably going to come after you. Now, I don't know you, Timothy. Only way I know you is through the talks that we have when I'm streaming. You're just another person that I know, and that's a good thing. You like my stuff, I like your stuff, and that's about as much I know. Joe probably think that me and you have some we grew up together, some shit. Joe has fantasies about everybody that I talk to, and so I just want to let you know, if he tries to contact you, just try not to, because if you do try to talk to him in any way, shape, or form, he will come after you. He will attack you. He will do everything he possibly can to make you to just make you just not come around, look at my videos or whatever anymore. You know. So let me get back to this. Thank you for submitting. We will review your submission and get back you within 1 to 2 weeks. If you have not heard back from us after 2 weeks, please feel free to contact us, message eBoy directly at Marketplace. So the Marketplace contacted Joe, all right, but the person that got back with Joe was this guy, John Jones. Now John Jones had asked Joe a couple of questions about his so-called development of this pro-face Brekel thing. All right, so he says, hello Joe, we've reviewed your submission and think that this is really interesting. We are wondering if you could share some more details on how it works. Is this a C++ plugin? We currently do not support code plugins on the marketplace, but it is something we are currently developing. I also have been keeping tabs on everyone interested in publishing code plugins, so I can keep them in the loop and find out how they're being developed. Let me know, because this is a really interesting submission. We'll like to know more about this thing. So they asking Joe, how does this work? You know, send us more detail, you know, about your plugin, what it is, what it does. How you doing, Wilson? So they're asking Joe, is like, okay, Joe, give us more intel. I mean, since you're a developer and you made this Brekel thing, give us more information about it. What Joe does next is exactly what I said in this right here. I mean, right here is when I said, so you did try, I said true, so you did try to sell Brekelman's Proface to Unreal, and when they asked you how the thing worked, you ran. And this is basically what happened. So this is them asking them. Now I'm thinking they're suspicious of Joe at this point. They gotta be. They got to be suspicious about this technology that Joe made. Joe doesn't even tell them how it works. Joe just says that it does what it does, but Joe doesn't tell them how it works or how it was made or how it was developed. You know, so this is them asking, and this is good. This marketing guy is doing his job to make sure that no con men like Joe get into the marketplace and start selling bogus bullshit. So here we go. Let's see. So let's keep dates. This is on March the 20th, all right, when they sent Joe this letter about the Brekelman's product that Joe stole and was trying to sell under Brekelman's nose. After the fact, Joe was no longer a seller of Brekelman's content. And John Jones comes to him again on the 27th. So this is like, what, 6-7 days almost? And then they come back and say, hey, Joe, we are waiting to hear from you before we can proceed with your marketplace submission. Please follow the instructions in the previous email to proceed. If we haven't heard from you by April 3rd, we will close your submission. If this happens, simply resubmit at excuse me, I've still got a code at www.unrealengine.com marketplace submission. So this is the second letter they send to Joe to ask Joe how the fuck this bullshit works. We want to know how you develop it. We want to know more information before we can even think about putting this stuff in our marketplace. What Joe does is exactly what Joes always do. He tries to find distraction or a reason why he can't explain what the fuck he stole and why. So here we go with Joe's response. Joe comes back and says, hi Joe. This is Peak Levels, Joe, Joseph Earl Mcpeek. I've decided not to develop with Unreal. Your community forum is much too immature to deal with, mods and members alike. I've had to remove the free Animal Streets thread because of serious forum harassment regards. Now, at this time, Joe, Animal Street went free. And Joe had all his motions on there, and Joe pulled all his motions off of there. Now, people that went on that website and paid, like me, went on there. I didn't know those motions over there in Animal Street were True Bones. All I know is I went over there and bought some animations, and the animations I bought were True Bones. When I went back to get the animations, Joe took all the shit off. Didn't send no emails, no nothing. Yeah, he doesn't know C++. He don't even know Python. And what the troll did is he removed all the stuff, ran away with people's money, kept the money, didn't give nobody no refunds off of the shit that they bought off of Adam Street. All the shit was gone. So that's why Joe came in here. This is after Joe left because he couldn't make money off of Adam Street anymore. He left. He didn't get hacked. He didn't do this. And the people at Adam Street warned Joe. Now, the people at Adam Street didn't warn us, but they did warn Joe to let people know that he's about that this whole site about to go free, and Joe is about to leave with his stolen content. They told Joe this. I didn't know this until I contacted them, and I asked them what happened to my shit, and they told me this guy named True Bones took your shit and ran with it. He took your money, took everything, ran with it. So this is after the fact. Joe didn't take that post down. Joe had stolen people's money off of Adam Street, ran with their money, and then took this post down. Then came up with this bullshit ass lie. And at the same time this had happened, Joe was kicked off of the Unreal forum. Joe was trying to go through Joe and tell him some sorry sob story of him being harassed on the forum board, because they found out that he was a crook and a thief. And then Joe went after the person that called him a crook and a thief and started harassing the guy, abusing everybody. Went to the moderator, started yelling at the moderator, saying, hey, get rid of this guy. This guy's interfering with my business. But Joe doesn't have a business. Joe's business ran out of his mom's house, called Heart to Heart Counseling. Look it up. Go to Michigan Yellow Pages. Look up Heart to Heart Counseling. You will see the same 69 Oxbow address that Joe been listing for years for True Bones motions. It wasn't until after the fact that I had the FBI and the Missouri State Attorney General office and a couple of other the FTC and other people start looking at the address where Joe's running his business out of, when Joe decided to take that address off of his website. So Joe lies to this man, the management director, and he comes up. Now, every email that's come to Joe has been about business. All right, the business of Joe getting the ProFace Brekel thing into the Unreal market. This right here, this garbage right here, this garbage is Joe misdirecting the fact that they wanted some answers from Joe about how the shit was developed. So Joe thought he would segue and say, I'm not going to come there because of this. So Joe found an excuse as of why he didn't want to come to Unreal. And it gets even stupider than this, people. So Joe Jones, doing his job as a representative of Unreal, found this puzzling. Alright, this dude's confused. And he's like, I'm very sorry to hear that. That's definitely not the type of experience we want anyone to have on our forums or marketplace. Could you give me more details on what happened so I can look into this personally? Now, the guy seems concerned and confused about what happened and Joe's reason for not wanting to have his technology go over to Unreal, right? Joe lies to them from the get-go about a submission, making them think that this was his shit. And on top of that, Joe no longer had the rights to even resell it, even submit this shit for resale in Unreal at the Unreal store by Jasper Brekelman himself. But Joseph Earl Mcpeek They're trying to figure out why, and it's basically like this: you work at a company that makes millions. I don't know how much this Unreal makes. They probably somewhere close to like $500 million a year. I don't know, but they're trying to be professional, and this is the way a professional looks when there's something troubling at their company. If something's troubling at their company, this is the way that anybody react to get to the bottom of it. So this guy's taking Joe at his word for now. So Joe comes back and he says, John, really too much to type. I can speak directly at my phone number below or my Skype, Joe Mcpeek. Now this is a tactic that Joe always does when people don't know him. Joe will say, could you give me a call so we can talk to you person to person, so Joe can further his lie, his manipulation even further. And the whole thing about it is, Joe should have just came out and say, well, this is what happened to me in the forum board, and here's the link. Joe didn't do that. Joe tries to get around this so this guy can call him and Joe can start spitting off and mouthing off his conspiracy theories. I know this because I've talked to Joe on the phone before. I've listened to this man talk like a crazy buffoon, crazy man. This dude's crazy, you know. And the dude, every other word is me, lie, me, lie. What somebody else is doing to me, lie. That's what he sounds like. That's exactly what he sounds like. He never gets to the point. So this is the 30th. You know, this shit started on the 20th of 2015. Joe still has not given these people any information about the product he wants to bring to marketplace. So Joe's still segueing to get his way back into the forum board through this guy by lying to this man. And by lying to this man, he just lying. Now Joe has been banned already. He's been banned. So now, yes, you got that right. Scam artist of the year. So now we go to John says, no, John Jones is up here trying to run the marketplace. He's working in this company. He's getting paid probably a nice little salary. He's still there working. And he says, I'm not available for a phone call today, but I could make time tomorrow afternoon after 3 p.m. Eastern time if you're available. What time zone are you in? And John says, okay, I'll call you, but it has to be this time when I'm busy dealing with real people who own real businesses, who are real developers, and not some Yahoo living in his mom's converted garage harassing people with a hockey mask. So he's trying to make it easy for Joe, but Joe wants it his way, like Burger King, you know. Let's see. Here we go. Let's go a little bit further. So Joe comes back on March 30th. Now, all this shit happens on March 30th. I don't know what time. It says 14:59. So this is, I guess this is like afternoon. I guess it's 1,300 hours. 1,300 hours is what I think 1,300 hours is like 3 o'clock, or I'm not sure. You got to take this number and subtract it from 12, something like. I don't know. So he goes, this is Joe saying, hi John, I'm available anytime. It seems your forum mods are out of control as well. They are issuing me infractions for insulting members, but it's really the moderators who feel threatened. I hope we can straighten this out. As of now, I have already uninstalled Unreal because of the unreal behavior at your forum. Just for Earl Mcpeek. So Joe's back here lying again. And once again, it's 30th. Now, we've been doing this since the 20th. So it's the 30th. And Joe still hasn't sent them any information about how this Brekelman pro face and body thing works. Still hasn't. Joe's trying to get himself back into the forum board, but doing what he always does, which is lie, mislead, and foggy up shit. And then Joe tries to make this guy feel bad because he decided he was going to uninstall Unreal and be done with it. So if you uninstall Unreal and be done with it, why the fuck are you still sending this man emails saying, basically, I mean, after the email you sent him saying that you don't want to develop, and that should be in the story. But Joe keeps playing with this guy, this grown man, bouncing, ping-ponging back and forth with his indecisiveness of saying how much he hates the Unreal forum board, how much this. Well, then keep the fuck away from it. Leave. But Joe wants to play around with this man doing his job. And this all blows up in Joe's face as we go on. And another thing about this, if Joe had permission, now this all makes sense. If Joe had permission for Mr. Brekelman to sell his product in Unreal, why didn't Joe go to Jasper Brekelman and contact this dude named John to tell him how this thing worked? It's been 10 days. Joe's been playing around with this man through email, lying to this man about something he wants to bring to their content store that he doesn't own. And then he comes back, instead of telling the man how it works, or getting Jasper Brekelman to come in and actually conduct business. Like this man is about business, marketing. This guy is not a foreign board regulator, and Joe will find that out soon. What this man does to Joe at the end. Hold on, I think somebody was trying to email. I think somebody just tried to email me. Send me a message. Papa John. No, it's nothing. Okay, so here it is. So after Joe gives in this bullshit, this earful of bogus earwax, he goes. John goes, can you give me a link to an example of this? I can read through it before we speak. I like to have as much information as possible. So John is like kind of concerned that the folks over there on the Unreal mod board or whatever is the mods and some people are just probably harassing this guy, and that's not good for business because when you're at Unreal, they've considered if you're a developer at Unreal, you should conduct yourself in a professional manner. There's no reason to sit back and harass and stalk somebody on their forum board or persist in yelling, screaming, and commanding the moderators, even cursing them out and threatening them to do your bidding. That's something that they don't like because that's not business practice. You don't force nobody to do something if they don't want to do it. You don't force nobody to shut up when they're telling the truth about you. So this guy's concerned. So finally, this guy is I guess he's realizing this point that he needs to find out the truth about this buffoon and the lies that Joe been spitting. Now Joe's been lying to this guy. No telling how long Joe would have done this, and Joe probably would have kept on doing this. This guy feels so sorry for him that he let him back into the forum board. But that's not the thing. This guy, before this guy takes any action against anybody for doing anything, he wants to know the truth. And that's the same thing with Bart. That's the same thing with Real Illusion. That's the same thing with every place this fool has been. Joe thinks people don't talk to one another. So Joe figured he could lie to somebody and then lie to the other person, even though the same two people standing next to each other. Joe thinks he can manipulate people. And Joe sometimes can. Joe manipulates you based on your ignorance. If you don't know something, Joe will use it against you to get what he wants out of you. That's how he works. True manipulator. So then, let's see. Joe goes, unfortunately, no, I don't have time. Now Joe doesn't have time. Now Joe has all the time in the world to wait for a phone call, but Joe don't have the time to go back to the forum board and send the man a link to the issues that he had on the forum board. And on the forum board, Joe got busted for selling shit that he stole. Period. They confronted him. This is all after you. And somebody actually brought the Unity caper that Joe went to Unity, stole shit from CMU, Mixamo, Real Illusion, and a whole bunch of other companies, and then came into Unity and tried to sell it off as a 10,000 pack, saying he's an actual company, and Joe wasn't even registered as a company. Joe went through the forum board and not the marketplace, and Unity knew about Joe. They knew about Joe being a pirate and told Joe, because of your shady business practice, we are not going to let you in our marketplace. So Joe said, well, can I go through your forum board? They said, go ahead, go at it. I hold Unity responsible for the shystiness and the theft he did over there at Unity when he went in there and sold people that stolen shit to game. He sold stolen content out of games to game developers. That's how big of a crook he is. And then when people found out, Joe never gave one person back. I think he gave one person back a refund, but the refund didn't come from Joe. It came from PayPal. And it was a partial refund. The guy's a crook. So Joe goes, unfortunately, no, I don't have time, but maybe you can access it through the moderators who really trying to ban me now. Now they say I have received an infraction and for insulting a member. And it's true. Joe not only insulted this person, he fucking stalked him. He ran after this person. I mean, if you're supposed to be a business person, what somebody said about you shouldn't faze you, because you should be able to stand behind your products. Joe can't stand behind his products because Joe has to constantly lie about the origin of his products. And and we're here on the 30th again, same day, and Joe hasn't explained how the Brekelman Proface thing works, how it was developed, and will it work with the Unreal Engine. Joe still hasn't even contacted Brekelman to let Brekelman know that these people are interested in his product. Because you know why? Joe is going to try to slither in here into the marketplace, try to sell this shit, and Brekelman wouldn't have known. Because Brekelman is a busy guy. He works for like movies and game development. I mean, this guy does a lot of shit. He's a very, very, very highly educated guy, and he wants to concentrate. I mean, he makes shit, and he wants to concentrate on other shit. You know, Joe, knowing this, and knowing this guy lives in another country, tries to take upon himself, like, hey, he lives in another country. What he gonna do to me? You know? But one other thing I did to Jasper Brekelman is actually give him Joe's address. So I told him an address where he's located. I even gave him pictures of the house he lives in. So just in case Joe decides to steal something from this man knows where to send the lawyers and the police to. So, so what happened after this? Let's see. Right here. So it's still the 30th. So this shit's been going on for a whole fucking day, for a couple hours. And John had actually went back to the moderators to talk to them about Joe. When he did that, that was the end of True Bones on Unreal. This starts the permanent banning. This starts a whole bunch of other shit. Joe can no longer sell anything in the Unreal marketplace. He can't sell nothing in the Unity marketplace. He can't sell nothing in the Real Illusion marketplace. He can't sell nothing nowhere but on Gumroad. That's the only place he has now. And that, hopefully, we get taken away from him in the future. But this is what John did after he thoroughly investigated the bullshit, lies, and everything that Joe gave to him. Especially for the fact that Joe still hasn't told him how the fuck this thing works. If you didn't want to put the shit in their store because of the issues you had in the forum board, you should have told this man 2 or 3 emails ago, like, nah, I decided I'm going to go somewhere else because the environment here is not to my liking. And that should have been it. He went his way, and you go your way. But Joe tried to play with this man and tried to manipulate him to get some moderators fired so Joe can come back to the Unreal forum. See, that's what you call a manipulator piece of shit. I mean, that's a shit move, Joe. But here we go. This is what John Joe said. It says, "Hello, Joe. I talked with the moderation team, and they spent the last hour going through your threads and all the communication your moderators have had with you. The work you submitted is definitely interesting, and it's clear that you put a lot of time into it." And I guess when Brekelman read that, he was like, what? He got angry. And I showed him this, and this is the thing that made him angry. The work you submitted is definitely interesting, and it's clear that you put a lot of time into it. And the thing about it is, Joe still, to this point, has not even told them how this shit's supposed to work. Still hasn't done it. Can't even tell me if it's a plugin, it's C++ or whatever. Still hasn't done it. Let's go on. But that so that's about the only compliment he gives to Joe throughout this whole thing. And this guy, I mean, at this point, this guy doesn't even really give a fuck about Joe. He's got like hundreds, thousands of developers to deal with, and this bullshit ain't worth their time. And let me tell you, when you piss somebody off at Epic Games, Unreal, this is what they do to you to make sure that your life as a developer will be pretty bad. But that's only half the equation. The way sellers conduct themselves in public is the most important way that they can advertise and what they're selling and develop interest in their product. It gives them an idea of how they will support if they purchase the product. So one's reputation is extremely important. As it stands, you don't have anything for sale on the marketplace yet, but you're already known. Here it is, Joe. But you're already known for your anger and abusive behavior towards community members, moderators, and potential customers on the marketplace forum. My role as content creator. So, Joe, you lied and tried to manipulate the wrong person here, Joe, and you got fucked. Because at this point, before I read the next couple of words, you were on your way to actually getting over on Mr. Brekelman and getting into their store. Only thing you had to do was just lie to Mr. Brekelman and say how this thing works and brought the information back. But you couldn't do it, Joe. You were so obsessed with getting back into that forum board, you were willing to try to manipulate this man, but he wasn't going to go for it. Because you thought he wasn't going to, because you thought that he wasn't going to go back and talk to the moderators. Hence you saying, oh, no, unfortunately, I don't have time. But you had time the other day. You had time. And you just told the man, he can contact you at any time. And all of a sudden, when he asks you to send the link to the issue you were having, oh, I don't have it. I don't. Oh, no, I can't do it. No, unfortunately, talk to them. And that's where you fucked yourself. You fucked yourself, Joe. I think you knew you fucked yourself when he's asking you for a link to investigate this. And that's what he did. He investigated this shit. Because he sat down with hours reading over the garbage, bullshit, harassment that you've done in that forum board for the past couple of years. It was time for you to go, bitch. That's all this guy about to say, but want to keep everything relevant based on that. I think, let's see, as it stands, you don't have anything. So you already know for your angry and abusive behavior toward community members, moderators, potential customers on the marketplace forum. My role as content curator is to maintain a high quality, safe place for both content creators and game developers to make great content that people want to buy, and to keep everything useful, relevant, and professional. Based on that criteria, I don't think you're a good fit for the marketplace as a seller based on the way you've been conducting yourself on the forums towards potential customers. As a result, the marketplace team will not be accepting your submissions now, or the marketplace team will not be accepting your business now or in the future. I hope you can understand why I'm making this decision, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. So, they smelt your bullshit, Joe. This guy went back and you talked and tried to manipulate the wrong person, Joe. And now this man looked at you, looked at who you are, and probably went back even farther back to 2013 when you stole all that shit and was reselling stolen shit. And then he's like, so why come he's not over in Unity? Oh, this is why he's not in Unity, because he's a pirate. He's a flamboyant pirate. He makes infomercials on shit that he's stolen out of games, and he wants to sell them to people who make games. So they call into your bullshit and just basically just say, you know what, not only are we not interested in your stuff, in your submission, we think that we should just ban you, blackball you, and you will never be able to sell anything in Unreal. So Joe banned himself by trying to be a manipulative piece of shit. And then makes a video, WTF, this means war. Well, Joe, you lost it. You lost the war, Joe. This is not a war if you lost it. The war is over. You're going to declare a war after the war ended. Were you sleeping? What a moron. What a fucking moron. So here's Joe again. Here's Joe again. So Joe made this little video. He made it unlisted. You're not gonna find it. I had to go back and search for this video through my history of my history. I'm not gonna bother downloading it. Joe can remove it all he wants to. But basically, Joe should learn not to answer shit when I type it in here, because I only type the shit in here to get him to say something after I investigate it. Before I type this up in here and let Joe read this, I make sure I got my response from Mr. Brekelman himself. So I got a response from Mr. Brekelman, and after that, I contacted Wilson F. over at the True Bones Truth blog. And they did a whole story over it. So you can actually read the story over here. But this is just me telling you exactly how this story came to be. After I talked to Wilson, he went back and he typed up all this stuff. And also came and found some other stuff that I'm going to talk to you about anyway. But the whole thing about it is, he sat back here and did a hour-and-a-half rant about him not being a thief, when he went over to Unreal with somebody else's software 4 years after the fact that he was not allowed to even resell it, and tried to take the copy he had and resell it, you know, and put it on the marketplace. Crook, charlatan, thief. And then try to pull the wool over these people's eyes by saying, I don't want to bring it to your marketplace no more because I have been done. No, you wasn't fucking done wrong. You were on their forum board thinking that you ran the place, and your ass got kicked off by the forum police. They busted your ass, got you off, then you tried to lie to the fucking head of marketing. This dude's the head of fucking marketplace, and you try to lie to him. This guy has clout. You lied to the wrong person, Joe. Lied. And I think they probably looked up Pro Rico Face to find out who was the rightful owner. And when he found out that you were lying to them about your submission, about you making this shit, they said, no, we don't need this guy here. I also checked him out on Unity. The dude's a thief. And I do believe when he went back and read all the shit that the moderator said, went through all the I guess the posts and everything with the moderators, I bet you they probably pointed that out, and he probably looked at it. If you're a crook, Joe, don't pretend that you're not one. Your past behavior predicts your future behavior. This is back in 2015 that you were banned from Unreal. This is 2015. It's now fucking 2018, Joe. 3 years later, and let's see what you've been up to. This is a constant contact from Joe. Joe sends these constant contacts out when he tries to sell shit that he doesn't own. And then Joe sends out this ad. It's from Stay Connected with True Bones, social network update daily, fresh new content. It says, new free Dead by Daylight. Yeah, the game, Dead by Daylight. Characters and animation. Howdy, folks. Great news. New free Dead by Daylight characters and animation in FBX and icon formats. Note includes bonus packs of weapons and masks. Don't forget to share and like with your friends. Use code TrueBones for free to get this for free. See, what it is that I got like 6 or 7 different accounts, which are all registered to TrueBones. So when he sends out one of these mailers, all right, when Joe sends out one of these mailers, and they're all under different IPs, by the way. And when Joe sends out one of these mailers, I forward the mailers over to the people whose shit he's stealing. So every time Joe sends out one of these, I get them and I give them to Wilson. And this is what Wilson did with it. Wilson contacted Digital Resolver, and this is the reply that they got. That's the reply that they had. It's called, hello. Thank you very much for contacting us. I have escalated the issue with the team for further investigation. We appreciate your point cooperation in protecting our intellectual property. So Joe, did you have permission? No. You never had permission. Everything you got in your Gumroad store is stolen garbage. All stolen. If you want to be a crook, but don't act like you ain't one. Don't act like you have a business. I have never heard of a business where, you know, unless you're running illegally, that you survive by being a crook. And then you get up here and you moan and you cry about how people or how I keep on reporting you in because you stole something. Joe, if you stole something, I'm going to report you in. Then you try to compare yourself to the Roundtable Studios and say, look, they're downloading models. Yeah, let them download models. Are they taking the models and selling them, Joe? Are they taking the models and putting their brand on it, Joe? Are they taking the models and if somebody else is using the same model, putting copyright strike and takedown notices on their content on YouTube? If they're doing all that, Joe, well then maybe I have to look into them. But they're not. You're the only one who steals other people's shit, tries to sell it, and if somebody else got it from someplace else, you go after their content and then you try to take it down. That is what led to your channel getting deleted the first time around. Because this is what happened to Joe's channel. After I reported his channel in, and he got a strike right there. Joe then did a video, which I sent to Epic, of him going over to Epic's YouTube channel and putting a fake copyright claim on the video. After that, Joe stole the Epic Fortnite moves, and I made a video about it and sent that to Epic. Those two, one was an erroneous false takedown notice. The other one was the theft of Epic shit. Epic went to YouTube, talked to YouTube about this, and they took Joe's fucking bullshit channel down. Did I have something to do with it? Yes. I had something to do with the first two strikes. Well, actually, I was the one who made the video, which Epic looked into, and then they went back and put the... But I still had something to do with it. So I took Joe's channel down. I don't care too much about Joe's new garbagey channel. I don't care too much about it. Because nobody's watching it. Nobody cares. I see Joe's not making the flamboyant videos like he was doing. In every video, I always check for a couple of things. I always check if Joe got a video up, I check for a link. I check for a link where I can download the shit. After I check the link where I can download the shit, I find out who's the owner of the content, and then I report Joe in. Both me and a couple other people report Joe in. And I'm gonna do this for as long as I possibly live, because nobody's gonna get up here and bully people because he wants to be a fucking clown pirate king. If he wants to be a clown pirate king, let him do it. But leave people YouTube channels alone, leave people personal lives alone, and do it in your own little world. When you come outside your world, Joe, and start harassing and hurting people, then that's when I have to get involved. When you was going after everybody else, you went after people I didn't know, but I figured that, you know, if Joe's saying that this guy is taking his shit, and I found out the guy got the shit from Mixamo, I told him contact Mixamo and tell Mixamo that he's going to put a lawsuit against Mixamo for selling him content that Joseph Earl Mcpeek owns. After that happened, Joe got in trouble. See, the thing about it is, I tell people, I counsel people like this when they contact me. I was like, "Oh, Joe took down your video. Well, what you do is like, where you get the stuff from? You got it from them? Okay, well, you write them a letter. You get a lawyer, and you get a lawyer to write them a letter, and you sue them. No questions asked. And then after that, they'll most likely that company's going to get in contact with YouTube and probably get in contact with Joe. Don't go after Joe directly. All this time, after Joe attacked my channel at the beginning of this year and started taking down channels and started copyrighting my shit and my videos, I decided going like directly at Joe ain't the way to go. You know, I have to go to what gives Joe his energy, his power. I have to go to where he's stealing his shit. I have to go after what he does. That's the only way you can get him to stop or control his behavior. So far, I think I've done a pretty good job. I've basically controlled his behavior to the point to where he's almost harmless. But Joe's still out there, and he's gonna keep on acting like a buffoon. But my whole thing is that 2019 is going right around the corner, and hopefully I won't have no more troubles like I was having with him before. I got to a point that I was tired of taking down my channel. I was tired of taking my videos down. I was tired of doing this shit because when he gets pissed, he decides that he's gonna go and try to put false claims on my videos, do all type of shit. But now I'm lawyered up. My lawyer is ready. I have 2 lawyers. One lawyer is on consignment. The other one I have to pay. But that's okay. That's alright. Because my shit's gonna be protected no matter what. And if Joe comes after my shit, and I know Joe's just itching to do something. I know he's gonna come after my channel. He's gonna try to pull some trick. I know he's gonna do it. But still, after everything I showed you about how he tried to steal Brekelman shit, and I even read you the conversation that Brekelman didn't even know Joe was still selling his shit after he told Joe to stop. He didn't know. So everybody, that's it for me. I did my 1 hour. Hope you all enjoyed the video and the information I laid down. But let it be told that don't listen to a word this man says. He's a habitual liar, and he's down to 839 subs. That's how many subs he has now. I remember he had like 1,500, and now the whole 1,500 is now dwindled down to 839. Meanwhile, if you go to my channel, I went from 3,000 to 3,200, from 3,000 subscribers to 3,200 subscribers. And if you go to my about page, you will see that I have went from 56,000 views to 159,000 views in less than like a little over 3 months to build my channel back up. You are welcome, Ms. Wilson F. You are welcome. So this what's up, Chuck? Chuck, was you listening to me? Yeah, he's sub buying, you know. Yeah, he's sub buying. And you know, after I'll tell you exactly what I did. I basically went and overhauled my channel. I did new artwork for it. I had re-upped a bunch of videos that I took down because I had the videos I took down all my old videos. Those were gone. All my tutorials, all my animations, all that shit was gone, and I started making new content. Once my new content got up to around like 47,000 views, I started re-upping all my old stuff and bringing it back online. Before I took down all the content off this channel, I had like a 250,000 views. And what Joe did to my channel was first Joe had me lose my monetization at the beginning of this year, back in January, February, because Joe kept on coming after my channel, putting false claims on my channel, and a whole bunch of other shit happened to my channel. So I had to basically shut my channel down too. I had to get Joe under control. And that's when I started calling companies and just stopped posting shit. When it came to a time where Joe's channel was actually gone and Joe lost his partnership, and the partnership thing with Joe is the main thing, how Joe was getting over on taking people's content down. Because if you're not a YouTube partner, they're not going to listen to anything you say. Alright, put it that way. You have no way to contact them to tell them this guy's doing this. It wasn't until I got Epic involved and Autodesk and a whole bunch of other companies involved in what Joe was doing, which led to the downfall of Joe's channel. So this is my channel, and I'm constantly working on my channel to to get more content up, doing more other different stuff. I've been putting up new playlists of everything I've made. My videos have grown to over 460 videos. I do gaming now on here. I do my TV show, My Troll Joe. I do a lot of stuff on Archive Infinity. I give people updates. I do modeling. I do anime stuff. I do a lot of different stuff on my channel now. It's not just totally Real Illusion, but it's more of an artistic channel of where I want it to be. So I just had to get away from the bullshit. So when I want to talk about Joe, I make these episodes, and you'll notice about Joe, you can watch it if you want to. It will always have this little logo here, and it'll have My Troll Joe Season 3, Episode 13, or whatever season I'm at, or whatever episode I'm at. So if you all know, if you come to my channel, you don't want shit about Joe, and you just want to watch shit about artwork, that's usually my premiere videos. You want to watch like my projects. You want to know about me playing games, other stuff I'm working on, movies I've made, tutorials, anything, tutorials, a whole bunch of other stuff. I have playlists for that you can come and actually look at and enjoy without having to be bothered with My Troll Joe episodes. So this is just the way I've redone my channel. Meanwhile, Joe's going to sit back and probably do a live stream saying how much he hates me and why I pick on him. I'm not picking on you, Joe. I'm just trying to make it so you can stop picking on other people. So this is One Gun. I'm signing out. Glad you all came and watched my video. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for what's the next thing I got coming up. The next thing I got coming back up is probably continuation to this video right here. Oh my gosh. This is the video I made where I was making a fight scene. So come back. This probably won't be ready for like a couple of days or whatever, but I will be back working on Archive Infinity, doing more stuff, updates on that. You can come check out the playlist. You can check out the playlist. I got 2 playlists, I think, a couple of playlists. I got this one, and I got this one. This one's for the contest that I won that Joe still hasn't hit. Reality hasn't hit him yet. That says I won, but yeah, I won the contest. And here's the working process of the newer stuff that I'm doing for Archive. So everybody, that's it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. He's losing subs because he's buying subs. Yes, that's correct. But I wish you all I guess a happy new year, and I'll see you guys in a couple days for another video. Peace.